And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back again. It was a short break, but we have returned with our final matchup of the night. We have Coffee versus Nice in a TvP again. Coffee, he is one of the best, or he's top 2 Terran in the Asia region, second only to Oliveira, and we've even seen Coffee take maps of Oliveira in the past. So he's an amazing player in his own right. He's a legend as well, known for his own innovative playstyle, known for coming up with his own builds, and at times he's had his own builds hit the mainstream and be adopted by some of the other Koreans and international players as well. So Coffee, a very, very high player, but he's up against Nice, the best player in all of Taiwan. The best player in all of Taiwan. And again, when it comes to Nice, he is, I would say, pretty comparable in skill to Firefly. I think I would rate him a little bit higher than Jeshi and Cyan. Nice is one of the best Protoss in this entire region, in the Asia region. So this is going to be a brutal one. Funada, the admins, like the seeding of this tournament is crazy. To have Coffee and Nice, arguably like top 2 Terran and top 2 Protoss in the region, face off against each other like this in the first round. It's crazy. Absolutely insane. It's brutal that we're going to lose one of these players already at this stage of the tournament, at this stage of the qualifier. It's heartbreaking, but I wish them the best. Do wish them the best as we are getting ready for those predictions. Meanwhile, we have our maps of choice. Oh my god, he's losing it. What's happening right now? Is he having like an interview? Are they talking to him? Oh my god. Mate, the giggles, they've slipped in. Regardless, great to see Coffee here once again. Coffee did retire last year for a while. He retired for a couple of months when he left Invictus Gaming, and then after a couple of months, you know, he tried to get away, but we dragged him back in. He was able to find himself a new team, was able to get the support he was looking for, and able to get back into that, or get back on that horse, and get back into that pro gaming lifestyle here. And yeah, he's very much so stabilized and settled as a top 2 Terran in the region. But here we go, we're getting into game number 1 on Oceanborn. And in the top left hand corner, we have Coffee for Mystery Gaming. And in the bottom right, we have as opponent, we have the Taiwanese Protoss, Nice, for Team Little Fairy. And if you are in the chat, predictions, the Gamba is open. Oh wait, oh no, wait, it's soon to be open. Sorry, I need a couple of seconds. Give me a couple of seconds here. There we go. If you're in the chat, predictions are open. You can place your bets and get your Gamba going on who you believe is going to advance on first into the semifinals. Predictions open. Best of luck. As this is not going to be an easy one. I feel like this is the hardest match to predict for. I feel like in the previous matches, there were some favored players. Actually, I would say Rex and Lemon was pretty up in the air. But Cyan was the favorite player against Kingslayer. Firefly was favored against Silky. Here, I don't know who I want to favor. I'll be honest. I think they're 2 amazing players, and I want an ace match. I hope we can go the distance and go for a game 3. I hope at least. Fingers crossed. Catching up with the chat. Terran or Zerg in this region, so switch to Protoss, better chances, just like Lemon. Kind of true, kind of true. I would say that in the Asia region, Zerg is very underrepresented. There aren't many Zerg players that are here. Like, there's Silky and Rex, but I mean, they both just got knocked out. It's mainly about the Protoss and Terran. Like, when we think of the best players in the region, we think of Firefly, we think of Coffee, we think of Oliveira, we think of Nice, Cyan, Jeshi. They're the more dominant forces in the region that have been for quite some time. Did we finally find Geralt's missing mustache? Looked like it landed on Nice's face. Oh, did we find it? I think maybe we found like a third of it, or maybe like a quarter. I don't know if I would say that we found Geralt's mustache, because mate, that was a lot of hair. Like that was quite a mustache that the girl was flexing and flaunting. We found some of it. Here we go. We're selling into game one. So far, it is going to be our tech of choice, a Stargate opener here from Nice. We're going to be opening up Stargate. Reaper does step into the main base, and we already scout the tech, by the way. Nice, out of position, and the Stargate has been spotted. Big moment there for Coffee as the Stalker has to rotate back around. Behind this, we're getting into our 1-1-1 setup. Coffee getting in towards his Cyclone production, and I imagine we could, if we go for a second Cyclone, head into a Cyclone drop. Cyclone drops were quite trendy in December and January, like pre-IEM. Cyclone drops have since fallen off and out of favor, so I'm curious what Coffee wants to dive into. What will he indulge himself in? As we have the Reaper trying to chase down the Adept, and the Adept, is it going to go down? It does! Oh my god, the Reaper does avoid the shot, does back off in time, takes out a probe as well. Very nice trades here by Coffee, very nice control. But here comes the Cyclone, we zone away the Oracle. Remember, it was a Stargate opener, but no Phoenixes. Stargate opener into Oracle, into a fast Robo. Interesting. So, we're not investing into Phoenixes. We have very little map control from the side of Nice. This is really shaky, really shaky build. The reason why I say this, from the side of Nice, there's no Phoenixes, there's no Blink Stalkers, there's no secure way to gain map control and to shut down drops. He has nothing that shoots up. And with a Robo follow-up, are we going for a War Prism first? Are we going to be aggressive with 4 gateways? Like, I'm really trying to pay attention to Nice here, and he's going into fast Colossi. This is so risky. It's so risky to rush into fast Colossi without Phoenixes or Blink Stalkers, but he's going for it. He's cutting a lot of corners. At the same time, we spoke about the Cyclone drop and how it's fallen out of favor, but it has not fallen out of favor for Coffee. As the drop is coming in, Immortal's on the way, but it just now started, and probes are going to be going down. Oh, we do have the shield battery, though. Does maintain those workers. Does maintain the mineral line. Drop going to be forced out. Heading towards the natural. Oh, the Oracle may actually run into the Cyclones. Not like this. Oh. As we get the revelation off, the Oracle survives, and Coffee is moving out with the rest of his army. A very early push here. Again, Coffee, he identified no Phoenixes. He identified the Bay, the Colossus production. He knows how vulnerable Nice is. Nice has 1 Immortal and soon to be 1 Void Ray to defend. Can Coffee break him? Can he be broken? For now, we're going to be engaging with the army. Oh, we do catch the tank on siege. We're going for the Lib. Liberator is going to barely be going down. The army here, it's so low, but Nice, he barely holds on. With barely anything, he's got 1 Void Ray, 1 Immortal, 2 Stalkers, and he does survive. Does hold. Yes, from here, we're going to be able to focus down on another one of those tanks. We bleed out the Immortal. Nice overextending. Does overextend quite heavily there. Now he's backing off, and now we're getting into Colossus production and Phoenixes. Nice, he's getting into a pretty well-rounded army, but he's getting there. He's not there yet. He's trying to stabilize with something that makes a little bit more sense. Coffee backs off. Now he gets his 3rd CC. His 3rd CC, not too late. What I should say. Not too late here, especially in comparison to the 3rd base of Nice. As the game from here is going to be calming down. We're going to be calming things down a little bit. And with that, we're going to be just building up that tank count. Likewise, Colossus are underway. We should be refining this army with charge lots. Usually we don't go Blink Stalkers plus Phoenixes. It's one or the other, as they both serve the same purpose and the same role. Nice, going to be settling in. He's being a little bit active with his army, and it looks like he may come across the drop. And he does. Does come across it, does force it back. Forcing the unload even, but it looks like the medevac will go down. Big pick off. Once again, have we overextended? The Phoenix is getting low. Trading out a medevac for a Phoenix. Not the best trade from Nice, but it does deter drop play, and it does mean that you can have a little bit more breathing room. Coffee, he's like, how did you know I was moving out? Ah, the observer. Scans, gets the observer. Good snipe there from Coffee. Good game sense from the Terran. Moving out with a double drop. This time at Nice, he's not as aware as to where the drop is, as he lost the observer. So the drop is missed. Ooh, and Coffee going straight for that natural. He's going straight for the natural base. He bypasses the Phoenix's risky move, but it pays off. We do see recall on the Colossi. We force back the army. At the same time, Coffee harassing with his Cyclones. It's going to pick off a Zealot. It's one Zealot for himself. Ooh, as the the Cyclone is going to be shut down. Meanwhile, again, this is really unorthodox play from Nice. He's on 2 Colossi, right? Unless he's on 3, he's going for a very fast Disruptor production. First Disruptor already on the way for Nice. High risk, high reward. We'll see if he can get away with it here. Meanwhile, Coffee's still being very active. Again, there's very limited anti-air to stop him. There's only a handful of Phoenixes, only 4, and 2 of them are low. So this is risky to go for, but specifically because of Nice's unit composition and because of the game so far, like, he has been able to be quite active. Jesus, that's a lot of tanks. It's a lot of tanks for Coffee. Working towards ghosts. We are making 3 ghosts at a time. Vikings are being produced as well. Coffee's death ball of an army is insanely strong. And Nice needs to buy time, to be honest. He needs his opponent to slow down the push, and he needs Coffee to turn back around when he does move out. Nice is setting up for a Zealot run by. Here we go. The army is pushing. Observer does spot it, and here come the Zealots. They're on the way. And again, Nice needs the forces to turn around. Otherwise, it's going to be a difficult defense. Yeah, Zealots are coming in. There is a bunker. We don't turn around. We commit. Never goes off. The connection. Big connection on the army. No splits there. Delayed reaction out of Coffee. Distracted by the Zealots. SCVs are going down. We do have another Nova. The picture in picture. The SCVs are falling. Bunker is being repaired. We do have the overcharge, but it looks like we get a kill on the 4th base. This isn't just the 4th. This is also the 5th. Yeah, both next side going down. Now, Nice, he does save most of his probes, but did lose the bases. Meanwhile, across the map, the Zealot runway is being cleaned up. You can see how heavy this tank count is. Nice cannot engage. Yeah, forced to recall back home. Nice just trying to pick away at the main army. Never going off once again. This time we do pull back. Tanks slowly pushing forward. We catch a Disruptor. Unfortunate pathing there from Nice. Throws away Disruptor. Another Nova goes off. The splits. Takes down a Ghost. Gets 2. Very nice pickoffs there from Nice. That was unintentional. A good pickoffs from Nice. But here comes the rest of the army. Again, the tank count is too high. We have Liberators as well, and Nice, he just cannot engage. We cannot push into this. It's not going to happen. He has to give up on another base. And Coffee is snowballing out of control. Because he takes down the 5th, the 4th, the 3rd, and now he's pushing towards the natural. And how can he be stopped? We have some good Novas. We take down every single Colossi. The tank shots are insane. We force the overcharge. There's barely anything to defend. Big EMP on the army. GG gets called as Coffee snowballs out of control and takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. A solid game there out of Coffee. A really shaky start from Nice. Remember, Nice, the early game is so important. Like, I feel like we need to put some emphasis, a lot of emphasis. We try to put emphasis on it just because early game aggression and early game pickoffs can be huge, and they just set the tone for the entire game. But in the early game, if you remember, Nice opened Stargate into Oracle, straight into Robo, straight into base, straight into Colossus production. Like, it was so greedy. He had no map control, no Blink Stalkers, no Phoenixes whatsoever, which is why Coffee was able to be as aggressive as he was. And even when Nice was starting to invest into some Phoenixes, it did not stop Coffee from dropping. He was still very active with his drops, with his overall pressure and aggression, and he was gaining a lot of value. He was getting a lot of pickoffs there. Whether it was economic damage, getting phoenixes, picking off a couple of stalkers here and there, just a very aggressive style out of Coffee, and that also forced Nice to delay his third. His third was late as a result, and that's why Coffee had the better economy, had the better saturation, and led into a terrifying push with those at like 5 or 6 tanks, libs, ghosts. It was just an army that Nice could not contend with. Like he had just kind of, he had kind of stumbled his way into the mid game instead of taking it in stride. It was a very shaky, messy early game out of Nice, and hopefully we can time things up. Hopefully we can time things up here as we get into game number 2. I feel like game 1 is a really good like litmus test, or it's like a really good way to scout Coffee's playstyle, because Coffee was very aggressive, as he usually is, and it shows us that like we can't afford to cut corners early on, or it's unwise to do so. And here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the Chinese Terran player, Coffee, for Mystery Gaming. And in the top left, we have his opponent, we have the Taiwanese Protoss for Little Fairy. It is Nice. Here we go. Frozen Cam, exclamation mark, Frozen in the chat. Frozen, Bobby. For those that are maybe tuning in for the first time, I've been traveling. I traveled to Poland for IEM Katowice, and because I traveled to Poland, I did not take my cam. So I'm actually streaming from a laptop. I don't have my usual setup here that I would at home. So because I'm traveling, don't have the ideal setup. I don't have a webcam, so it's not a frozen cam. It's a screenshot, Bobby. It's a screenshot. Ay, ay, ay. You're an animal. But I am returning to Australia. I'm returning to Australia next week, so you'll see my lovely reactions and face live then and there next week. Gonna be coming back, which will bring back a webcam. That's all good. Coming back next week. But here we go. We're getting into game number 2, and so far we do have a Rex expand here from Coffee, economic opener from our Terran player, likewise a standard opener out of our Protoss. It is going to be a CC on the low ground for our blue Terran as we are settling on in. Here we go. We'll see how our players do adjust here. I expect a much more standard opener out of Nice. I expected something like a Twilight Council into Blink, or if we go Stargate into Phoenixes. On a smaller map like Golden Aura, I feel like a Twilight Council opener is more warranted. As I say that, I'm going to have to eat my words, because Nice is going for a Stargate opener 2 games in a row. There it is. Stargate thrown down by the Protoss. Now, I would imagine we're not going for the same build. Even though the opener is the same, the build of choice, I'm sure we're going to be adjusting. We'll keep an eye out here for Nice if he goes for an Oracle again, or if he goes for Phoenixes. I'm hoping for the Phoenixes. Meanwhile, Coffee is just settling himself in, getting into his natural, working towards his second racks and his factory. Very important to take note of this is that the starport is delayed. Coffee is going for a second racks a lot faster. He could even throw down a third racks before starport, and that is a little bit telling of aggression and borderline 2-base all-in. We have seen 2-base all-ins transition out of that, or from that. And there it is, third racks. Okay, so Coffee is setting up for a 3-1-1. It is 3 raxes, 1 factory, and 1 delayed starport. So we're not going to be able to go for earlier drop play like Widowmine drops or Cyclone drops. The starport is delayed because we're building up and focusing on building up marine production and of course just a ground army, and then we hit a timing with the medevacs. Medevacs will soon be upon us. Now with this opener of Coffee, we have seen players pull the boys with this. We have seen players just pull the boys and go for a 2-base all-in. We'll see if Coffee does that as well, or if he just goes for a 2-base push and expands behind it, which is still viable. Still very much so viable here for Coffee. Regardless, it's going to be an aggressive build. Meanwhile, Reaper slips in. We get eyes on everything. We see the Stargate, the Twilight Council. The Robo has been thrown down, and I think, yep, that's going to be scattered as well at the natural. The Reaper sees everything. And it's a very similar build from game 1. So Nice is going Oracle first, but instead of going Oracle into Fast Colossus, it's Oracle into Charge Lots, then into Delayed Robot Production, which is safer, is what I will say. It's safer here from Nice. So Oracle into Charge Lots, which means he will have an army to work with. Third base is on the way. That's going to be the target of this push, depending on whether or not Coffee pulls the boys. Like, this push can either just move out and deny the third, or we could go for the throat and try to push into the natural. Stim and combat shields are on the way. Again, we're just waiting for those upgrades to really kick in. By now, we should have seen a starport. I don't see the starport. Okay, but there's an eBay. Okay, we do have an eBay on the way. That is going to be for upgrades. We're going for a longer game. But this is an interesting variation from Coffee. Now, the move out is spotted. The Oracle does spot the move out. But we're not pushing with medevacs. The starport still hasn't even started. Instead, we're going for a heavier tank count. Again, this is a little bit more committed here as we're pushing across the map. Did we pull the boys? I think we did. Show us. What's behind this? Yeah, the boys, they have been pulled. We spoke about this. There are 2-base all-in variations. When I saw the eBay, I thought it wasn't the 2-base all-in. But nah, the eBay is just for show. The boys are here. We're pushing towards the natural. We're looking to kill Nice. We're looking to end him. Now, we didn't pull all the SCVs. Only a handful of them. Bunkers are on the way. They're being focused down. Bunkers are being focused down. Stim is done. We haven't used it yet. We're waiting out the overcharge. We're waiting it out. And it will run out here. We do have 2 Immortals. We have a lot of... Well, we have so many Zealots. The Stasis doesn't finish. Tanks, they're going ham on the Marauders. Zealots, they're melting against the Marines. And we're stimming on forward. We break through the defensive line. We get on top of the Immortal. And does Coffee have enough to break through? It looks like he should get the third. Nice, he's desperately trying to hold on, but the Immortal, no! The Immortal goes down, which means we may not just get the third, we could push into the natural. Uh-oh. We can keep going. The third base has fallen. Behind this, now we have the starport on the way for Coffee. Nice, he's avoiding the army. He knows he can't fight. He cannot fight, not anymore. Avoids the army, goes for a counterattack. Hoping to catch some reinforcements. Gateways are falling. We do catch a couple of Marines and Marauders. We do catch a couple of reinforcements. Overcharge is popped once again. Boys are being pulled to repair. And they will keep this bunker alive. But again, these Zealots are being cleaned up. The tanks, they still stand strong. 1 tank goes down. We still have 2 left, which means we can get within range of that natural. But because the reinforcements are slowed down, Coffee backs up. He retreats. So, Nice holds. Nice, he does hold, but he's down in workers. Plus down in mules. He has 2 Immortals. He's trying to chase down these tanks. It looks like he will get one of them. Oh, gets a tank. Gets 1 tank. Coffee, he punishes some of those else, but that was worth it for Nice. As the game is going to settle from here. We're going to be settling from here. Coffee, he did do enough damage to make it more than worth it. So he's, I would say, in a better position. He's working on +1. We spoke about that eBay. But his third base is very late. We do need a third. As one thing I will say here about Coffee. Meanwhile, Nice, he's rebuilding his own third on location. I'm curious. Coffee has the option right now. He could just go for a second 2-base all-in. Like, unironically, because it's only 1 eBay, he could go for a +1 timing. But this time with medevacs. He's rebuilding his tank count. He could pull the boys for a second time. That is on the table. That is in the cards. And the longer this goes on without a third CC, the more I believe in it. Oh boy. We're getting a couple of lag spikes here and there with the clean feed, unfortunately. But there it is. Third CC is now on the way. It is quite delayed, but it's on the way nonetheless. So Coffee, he's not going for a second all-in. He is going to be looking to go for a longer game. Likewise, Nice setting up his own. A third, rushing towards Storm. Ooh, and can the Prism survive? We're going to try and chase this down. We're trying to punish that Immortal drop. It looks like it will not be punished. Nice, he gets away with both Immortals. Whew. Again, scary moment there for Nice. Again, I do apologize for the lag spikes here. Again, we are casting from a clean feed, and the clean feed is not the most stable of setups, unfortunately. So at times there are lag spikes. For the most part, this broadcast has been pretty stable. It's been pretty clean. But that clean feed, it's becoming a little bit dirty here. As here we go, we're going for our own push. We have 2 Immortals, we have a mass amount of Zealots, but we are pushing into a very entrenched position. Nice! I don't know if we can really pull this off, but here come the Storms! Big Storms on the army. Oh my god, on the Marines and Marauders, but is it still enough though? Boys are being pulled. There's still 1 tank in the back line. It's being focused down by the Marauders. The tank does fall. We're going for another warp in. Up, and is it going to finish? It does! But it looks like we hold. Coffee, he cleans up the army, shuts down both Immortals. Oh, and we almost rally into the Terran. Yeah, Coffee holds. He has a better economy. He's going for a counterattack. Nice. He's in some trouble. There were some good storms, is what I will say. There were some very nice storms on the bio army of Coffee, but the tank volleys were brutal, and the Immortals, it took them a little bit too long to get on top of those tanks. No shield battery, no overcharge. Yeah, there's very little tech defense here at the 3rd base. The shield battery is halfway done. We just need to buy a little bit more time. At the same time, though, nice. Going for a warping into the main. He's crazy. He's desperate. Nice. He's desperate for damage. Warping into the main. Can't be the production. We're going for the Nexus. Oh my god. We almost do get it. Did you have the picture-in-picture? Second warping into the natural. The Immortal barely does survive as well. Nice, he's getting damage done. He's trading well, and he defends back at home. Mind Shield's going to be going off. You can see the main base in a lot of chaos here for Coffee. Yeah, good micro so far. To Nice, juggling those units, getting as much value as he can out of them. But he has to unsiege soon. If he's not too careful, he may lose the Prism. Oh, the Immortal! The Immortal does go, and wait, if we dive on top of the Prism, it does fall as well. Nice, he overextends. Oh my god, does force some friendly fire towards the end. Brutal friendly fire there. Nice, just rallying everything across the map. Again, he's just throwing everything against the wall, trying to see what sticks. But Coffee still has the better economy. He's going for his own Widowmine drop as well. Sending it across the map. Nice, trying to prepare. Working on Phoenixes. Blink just finished. Blink is done, so now Nice can have a more well-rounded army. Widowmines are burrowing, and so far we're getting a handful of probes. Oh! Only 3. 3 probes go down. We have another mine drop going towards the natural. And is Nice paying attention? Ooh, Medevac rallies in. Nice, he does react in time. And so far only losing 1 worker for each Widowmine. This is still quite annoying though, and quite... No, we come back too soon! Oh my god. Jesus. Nice, calm down. Does take 1 extra shot there. 5 probe kills. 1 Widowmine is still alive there though. It's still up and running in that natural. It looks like it might get another shot off. Meanwhile, do we have a storm? Do we have a storm available? That mine shot, it will pop off for a second time. Thankfully, it's not the most saturated mineral line. Not the most saturated. As Widowmines, they're waddling into the mineral line here at the 3rd. Very adventurous. They don't quite go off. There were cannons in position, so the Widowmine run by was deterred. Coffee forced to back off, forced to come back home. And the game is gonna settle from here, at least for a moment. Now, even though Coffee has a supply lead, even though I want to favor Coffee overall, I mean, he's got 1-1, he's working on +2 upgrades, he's working on Ghost for EMPs. Nice has potential, specifically with Storm. He has 4 High Templar, each with at least 1 Storm. And he can still catch out the army of Coffee, and even being down in supply, he can still win a fight. But he also has to avoid EMPs. That's the scary thing right now, is that his hopes and dreams lie in these High Templar, and if they get EMP'd or if they get sniped, then it's going to be over. There we go. We are pushing in EMPs on the Zealots. So far, good positioning from Coffee. High Templar pushing forward. They do get EMP'd. Two of them do. There's 2 High Templar left. Another EMP connects. There's 1 High Templar left with energy. Do we get a Storm? We get 1. Yeah, we got another Storm here. Does zone back the army of Coffee, but the EMPs were solid. We pick up the main. We land it as the 4th. Zealot run bys. They don't achieve too much. And Coffee is looking strong. Is looking good right now. Nice. It looks like he has a Storm available. He has 1, maybe 2. Maybe 2 Storms. EMP connects though. Ay, ay, ay. These EMPs have been brutal. Zealot run by does hit the 3rd. Try to hit the 3rd base, but it should be cleaned up. Yeah, we're flanking the army. We're collapsing on this from both ends. Storm is not good enough. Not anymore. GG gets called as Nice gets surrounded. And Coffee will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Coffee, as he does take it. A solid series here from our Chinese Terran player. And a really unorthodox playstyle from Nice. To wind it back a little bit, even here in game number 2, I'm really not fond of Stargate openers where you don't commit. In game 1, it was a Stargate opener, Oracle into Fast Colossus. In game 2, it was Stargate opener, Oracle into Charge Lots, right? And we had no Phoenix production there. It was, and because of that, it feels like the Stargate opener is slowing down Nice more than anything. There's a reason why players don't do it. It's very inefficient. That's the word I'm looking for. It's a very inefficient build from Nice, and I think it's designed to catch your opponent off guard, but Coffee, he was unfazed. And the builds of choice and the openers specifically of Nice, it felt like they were hurting him more than they were helping him. In general, they were hurting him more, and they were setting him behind early on, and Coffee, because of Coffee's aggression, he was punishing him so much. Punishing him so much every single time. GG, well played. We have our top 4. Firefly, Lemon, Cyan, and Coffee. We have our top 4 players. Oh my god. The whoops. We have our top 4 players, and they're going to be duking it out tomorrow. They're going to be duking it out tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be the semifinals, where we determine who makes it to the grand finals and who qualifies through the Asia Closed Qualifier of StarsWar 11. GG. GG, well played. So, yeah, we're going to be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the continuation of this. Not just that, but tomorrow we're going to be live with some other events as well. Let me just quickly double check our calendar. But tomorrow is not just the semifinals of the StarsWar 11 Asia Closed Qualifier. It is also KSL. If you're out there, if you're interested in some Korean StarCraft, then we're going to be live in less than 24 hours with the Korean StarCraft League. Korean StarCraft League, it is your weekly dose, your bi-weekly dose of Korean StarCraft. That is going to be in like 22, 21 hours time, around 21 hours time. So yeah, if you're interested, we got you covered there with some Korean StarCraft League action. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. And we're going to be focusing here on the StarsWar 11 qualifiers for the foreseeable month, for the next couple of weeks, when it comes to the Asia region, the Korean region, and the European and Americas region as well. So again, we're going to be live here every single day, as we always are. I hope you guys enjoyed the cast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Overall, I do apologize for some of the stuttering that was happening during the clean feed. It was out of our control, though. Unfortunately, it was out of our control. We can't really do much about that, unfortunately. So, do apologize. But overall, you know, it was watchable, I hope. And hope you guys enjoyed it in the end. GG. GG, well played. Oh. Hold on, what's happening in the chat? Oh, I see some of the Korean betters coming out. Oh, they're clowns, Poppy. They're clowns. Shaking my head. Let me just double check some of these guys as well. good. But yeah, with that, I hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for some KSL and for some more Stars War action. Otherwise, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, hasta luego. You can follow us on all our socials. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. !_ socials in the chat for links to all of that. We're also live on our YouTube channel. Again, we're streaming both here on YouTube and Twitch, so you can check us there if you're interested. We do upload on a daily basis with plenty of YouTube content. Otherwise, gracias everyone, gracias. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. Bye.